go. Popping in fast. Here we go. All right. Welcome, everybody. And I know some of you may have, I haven't really seen any come in yet, but I know often you'll try to have your note taker come in. And just so y'all know, I will be recording this. I will not allow note takers in here, but the recording will be made available to you tomorrow in case you wanted to watch it again and review any of the stuff inside here. So first of all, then let me just welcome y'all. I see so many faces I recognize and some of the names I recognize, but no faces shown. I guess you guys are off camera for the moment, but I want to welcome you to this workshop, which is actually truly a workshop. It's not just training and fluff. This is literally, you're going to see some stuff happening. Now you can follow along and take notes and do some of the things as we talk about the process, but this really is an introduction into how to build the front end of your funnel in record time. And I know some of the people I'm seeing here have attended one of these workshops before. I've been running them a few times a month right now, just as we're helping to get more people onboarded into this action. And that'll all make more sense to you in just a little bit as we dive in. So to kick it off, I just want to introduce myself. For those of you who may not know me, obviously you're on my list, so you know a little bit about me at least. But other than that, I can tell you that I am a seven-figure entrepreneur. Used to be a former professional actor. That was my first career for 20 years. And I got into the entrepreneurial space, gosh, kind of even during my acting career. A lot of actors support themselves waiting tables. I always supported myself starting my own businesses. And so I've always been entrepreneurial by nature. And the most recent foray into a business that I created is known as Infinite Leads. And it's based on the premise that, and this is where I want to preface this as we go into what we're going to talk about today. Every business, no matter what your business is, consists of three simple things. And that is lead generation, sales, and fulfillment. And I don't care what it is that you sell or what it is that you do, but any business really functions with those three elements. You have to have the product, program, or service that gets fulfilled upon, even if it's Coca-Cola or Toyota. It still is a product that gets fulfilled. And in order to fulfill that, be able to deliver that, you have to have sales. Someone's out there selling it. And in order to sell it, you need to have leads. And so, again, the three key elements: lead generation, sales, and fulfillment. And I'm going to trust everybody here is really good at fulfillment, but I do want to say, as we go through the workshop today, take some notes to be a little more specific about what it is you fulfill, how you fulfill it, and who you fulfill it for. Those are going to be key as we dig into LeOn and ARIA today. Now, LeOn is an AI agent that I built based on all the training I've done around lead magnets for over a decade now. And it's short for leads on demand. And he has been trained as this AI agent. It's like having me in your back pocket. And in order for you to really see how that works, and also to train you a little bit on what I've trained LeOn in, we're actually going to do it live in person right here. So let me just open up the chat here and just get a quick take from y'all. A couple of questions real fast. How many of you are currently using AI in some form or another in your business? Just a yes in the chat will be cool. And I figured as much. Yeah, a lot of you are already using it. Awesome. Good. So this is not necessarily going to be new to you. We got one no out there. But even if you're not using it, and it was interesting, I saw this, I actually heard this mentioned the other day, that AI is not necessarily going to be replacing you in the workforce unless you don't know how to use AI. Because when it comes to being out in the workforce, even if you're in business for yourself, in many ways, we're often competing with someone else in a similar business, similar offer, but the person who's using AI, I believe personally that they're going to surpass those who are not, because it's just become a regular mainstay way. And frankly, we've all been using it to some degree or another for quite a while, just in lesser forms of that. And so what we really want to do, and what I'm going to work with you today on, is how can you make AI your own personal assistant? And how can you use AI to save you dramatically on your time? Because here's the deal, and this is the way I always approach life, my business, my relationships, everything. Time is my most valuable asset. I can always go and make more money. I know how to make money. I can't make more time. And so we're going to show you today how to maximize the time that you do have in one of the key elements in your business, and that is in making your lead magnet. Now we're going to start there and we're going to take it up level it, up notch it, and I think you guys are going to really enjoy this. So before we dig into it, and we're going to jump right over to Leon in a moment, but I want to preface it by saying here are the three critical elements of a lead magnet. Now, there are other things that come into play on it, but to have a highly converting lead magnet, you need to have it needs to kind of consist of these three elements. Number one, it should be immediately available. Right now, people want stuff now. They're interested. They just read about it. They heard about it. I want it now, not something that's going to be delivered later. And therefore, I want you to think in these terms as you're crafting your lead magnet. Here's a difference of a now and later. You could offer somebody your free guide on how to do something, or you could offer them a free workshop on how to do something. But the workshop doesn't happen for a week. Well, they're going to be more apt to go for the thing that's available immediately because they want it now. And maybe a week later, it's not not going to work out for them. So it needs to be immediately available. Number two, it needs to be easily consumable. I know this may sound counterintuitive, but I don't care if you've written a 300-page book, ebook, whatever it is, and you've got all of this information, you've poured your heart and soul into it. It is not going to perform as well as a 2-page cheat sheet. If you can consolidate all of the golden nuggets from your 300-page book into 2 pages, you've just saved them a lot of time. And remember, time is valuable to them as well. So make it easy to consume. A 2-page report will outperform an ebook. You just got to trust me in this. There have been all kinds of tests done around all of these, and I'm just giving you the stats of what it shows as high performing. Finally, the third piece of a highly converting effective lead magnet, it should solve a top of mind problem. What are your ideal clients up in the middle of the night worried about? Are they lonely and looking to be in a relationship? Are they out of shape, overweight, unfit, unhealthy, and they want more vitality in their life? Or maybe it's financial. Maybe they're going, gosh, I need more clients. I wish I was making more money. It seems like it always runs out before the end of the month. And so what is your ideal client's top of mind problem, the thing that's keeping them up at night? So those three elements really comprise what's super important for a highly converting lead magnet. And to put it all in one sentence, and this is a writer downer, a hot lead magnet should be an immediately available, easily consumable solution to a top of mind problem. Immediately available, easily consumable solution to a top of mind problem. Now, there's one other little piece we're going to add to that, and that is your lead magnet, to choose and make an effective one, while it solves one problem, should set up the next problem. What do I mean by that? One of the lead magnets that I have is the Ultimate Lead Magnet Playbook. It's a lead magnet and how to build a great lead magnet. Well, as soon as someone gets this lead magnet and it helps them to craft a lead magnet, much like this workshop today, I'm going to help you to craft a lead magnet. It's going to solve a problem for you. But once that problem is solved, well, now you've got the next problem. Anybody care to venture in the chat what that next problem might be? I've just helped you to build a great lead magnet. Now what's the challenge? Let's see if anybody's going to pop that in the chat. Implementation, how to deliver it, getting it in front of the right eyeballs. Okay. And we're all probably familiar with the term, from Field of Dreams, if you build it, they will come. That's not the way it works with lead magnets. Okay. Just because you built it, nobody knows it exists. So you need to get it in front of the right eyeballs. So you notice now I've helped solve the problem of the lead magnet, but it sets up the next problem, which is where my paid offer comes in. Infinite leads is a way to get exposure for that, to get it in front of hundreds of thousands of people so that now people start going, yes, I want that lead magnet. All right. Valerie, if you can type your question into the chat, and if it's a good timing for it, I will answer it now. I see your hand is up, unless that was a fluke. I know sometimes we do stuff like that. How to get the leads. Perfect question, because this is what this is all going to be about. So y'all ready to dig into LeOn and see how LeOn's going to help you to build a lead magnet? See some heads nodding. All right, here we go. I'm going to share screen, and we're going to go into the chat agent that I've created just for this purpose. Okay, so LeOn, Leads on Demand Lead Magnet Creator. Now, there's only one prompt. If you guys have been playing with chat bots and AI agents, you'll know that often they might have multiple prompts there to get you started. LeOn is very specific to one primary task, which is lead magnet creation. And so we've really just put one prompt there. So when you're working with LeOn, you simply click on that. And it says, hi, LeOn, I want to create a lead magnet that helps my audience solve a specific problem. Can you guide me through the best format, title, and steps? And here comes LeOn. Hey, you're in the perfect place. Let's get this rolling in 5 quick steps to build your irresistible pain-solving lead magnet. First, it's going to ask you, what do you want to create? Checklist, cheat sheet, short guide, 3 to 5 step, mini audio or video training. That's step 1. So let's pick something right now for fun, and we're just going to make stuff up as we go along, but you guys could be writing notes down for yourself at home in this. So I'm going to create a 5-step process. So we just tell LeOn that, and the response, perfect. A 5-step process is one of the strongest formats. It's focused, easy to consume, and positions you as the guide. Next, who's it for? Tell me about your ideal audience. Who exactly are you helping? The more specific, the better. As example, new coaches with no list, busy moms wanting to meal prep, yoga teachers struggling to fill classes. It gives us some examples there. I'm going to say, in this case, let's see if anybody wants to throw an idea into the chat. Let's see what we can do. And it could be one that's real for you, or it could be something made up. I've been playing in past ones with divorced dads over 50 who are ready to get back into dating. So that's an example of something. And if I don't see a nice one come into the chat here in a moment, we'll just go with that one. Help people back up their social media. There we go. Professional women looking for more thought leaders who need more clients. Those are all pretty good. Okay, let's see. Let's do. Coach is not earning 6 figures. Let's do this. We're going to kind of do a mishmash of everything that came in there. Professional women, thought leaders. Actually, I think better wording would be professional female thought leaders who are struggling to get beyond 6 figures in revenue. Okay, so we're going to pop it in like that. It's kind of a mishmash of some of the stuff that came in there. This will, of course, hopefully help solve the financial freedom. It'll help them. They'll need to get more clients in the process. Doesn't necessarily deal with the social media aspect, but this will give us something fun to play with here. So got it. We're speaking to high-level, mission-driven women who've tasted success but are stuck at the 6-figure ceiling. Love this niche. Now for step 3, the problem. As I just told you a little bit ago, and again, LeOn is trained on this, what's the top-of-mind painful challenge they're facing that your 5-step process will solve? Okay, it lists a couple of examples here, and we're just going to pull one of these. So let's see. They're doing too much themselves and can't grow. They have a great offer, but no scalable system. They're burnout from launching and still not scaling. Actually, I like that first one. So let's grab that one. I'm just going to copy it. Now, of course, when you guys are doing this at home, you're filling in your own answers. You could say, this is what I solved for them. And as a matter of fact, in a moment, because we told Leon that we want to do a 5-step process, it's going to ask us, and then it's going to suggest some steps, but we can put our own in. Now, obviously, if this is your area of expertise, you probably already have a really good idea of what your steps may be. So here we go. Okay. Juicy, high pain problem. We're speaking to women who've hustled through launches, maybe had a few good ones, but they're exhausted and still plateaued. That's real. Okay. And then it says now on to step 4, your method. What's your 5-step process? What are 5 core steps to walk them through to solve this? Now, in this case, we're going to pop our 5 in, and whatever your 5 may be, but we're going to say identify the biggest challenge. Okay, that's step 1. Step 2 is, and remember what we're walking them through is they've hustled and the launches haven't failed. Identify your top partners, because we're going to play a little bit of here, just anticipating that they can do better with collaboration. And so we're going to have them identify their top partners. And I'm just making this stuff up. This is not the area that I teach or coach, but we're going to keep plowing through and just make stuff up. We're going to determine what success actually looks like, how it is measured. Oh, did my thing stop taking my typing? Okay, how it is measured. Let's say another one of the steps we're going to want to put them through is determine your fastest existing. And again, I'm just making stuff up here. Let's go for maybe one more piece here. Okay, so we just popped in 5 quick and easy here. And we're going to see what chat does for us, what Leon here inside our AI bot. And I noticed too, if any of you who are using it, maybe you're already using 5.0, this one is still set at 4.0, but it's easy enough to go up here and switch that, which we'll do in a little bit. Lori's asking, are you going to give us access to use Leon? Leon is available. We'll talk a little bit more about that. There will be an offer for Leon and ARIA. And ARIA, y'all are going to also love, which is Leon's sister. And I'll be sharing that with y'all in a little bit too, in case you wanted to use these for yourselves. So let's see what we got here. You've got a strategic high leverage flow that speaks directly to scaling with intention, not more hustle. Here's your current 5-step, lightly refined for clarity and action. So Leon's even helping me to flesh this out better, which is great in this case, because this is not my area here. And now on to step 5, the asset. This is where now Leon's going to go to work for you. We've kind of given him what we want to create. Now Leon's going to help us with titles, description, the call to action, and the layout. So before you do, he wants to know what's the paid offer this should naturally lead into. So remember what I said, how a great lead magnet, in addition to having those 3 things that make it highly converting, you also want it to set up your paid offer. So if these women were our ideal clients and we're going to help them through this kind of hit that 6-figure number, a little bit of the burnout element, probably the paid offer is we're going to say that we want to offer them more handholding through the process so they could get into a coaching and support program. So we're going to pop that into the answer here to what's the paid offer. So we're going to say a 6-month group coaching and support program. Okay, so that's what we would like to sell them on. Okay, and again, making this up as we go. Some of this may match with a lot of the stuff you guys are doing. So be writing in your own stuff so that you can be able to actually, flesh this out for yourselves as you need to. Okay, letting another person in the room here. Perfect. Now we're designing this lead magnet to prime the sale for your 6-month group coaching and support program. We'll make sure the freebie delivers a win and makes them hungry for the deeper support. So here are the 5 title options under 65 characters. The 5-step path to scale without the burnout. Beyond 6 figures, your strategic growth blueprint. Stop launching, start scaling, a simple 5-step system. The Thought Leader's Guide to Sustainable Scaling, and Unlock Real Growth, 5 Steps to Break the Revenue Ceiling. These are actually pretty good title choices. We'll pick one in a moment. Leon's going on to give us the description. This is what you're going to want to put with it wherever it is that you're posting about it so that people get what it's going to teach them. So the description: tired of launching again and again and still stuck at 6 figures? This quick read guide gives professional female thought leaders a clear 5-step path to scale with sanity using assets you already have. You'll learn how to pinpoint the real bottleneck that's holding you back, spot high leverage partnerships to speed up growth, define success in metrics that actually matter, use existing content to fast track your next offer, and understand your numbers to meet your leads' real needs. If you're craving clarity, direction, and a growth strategy that doesn't burn you out, this is your first step. It's a great description that's going to get people interested if they fit into that, especially if they're a female thought leader. And then the call to action: ready to go deeper? Get the personalized support, systems, and sisterhood to scale sustainably inside my 6-month group coaching program. Let's talk. Now we're going to move on to the PDF layout here. We have our cover, page 2, why it exists, page 3 through 7. So Leon is now asking, want me to turn this into a professional slide deck in Gamma for instant download or PDF export? We're going to tell Leon yes, but first we want to pick one of these titles. So let's go with Stop Launching and Start Scaling, a simple 5-step system. Okay, so we're going to go with that title. And we're going to tell Leon, yes, please, and let's use this title. Okay, so basically we're saying, yes, let's do the slide deck, and let's use this title. So we're coaching Leon now as in the next step of what we want to do. And we'll give Leon a second here. And just so you know, when we talk about the slide deck, this is a little workaround that I absolutely love. I've been doing this for years. Whenever I build my lead magnet, I actually would build it in either PowerPoint or Keynote as a slide presentation. And then once I have the slides, because each slide I could manipulate, make it look like whatever I want, have it really beautiful. And then I export that whole presentation as a PDF. And now I have a downloadable PDF that I can give to people, but I built it inside a presentation software. So it works really well. And so here we've also taught Leon to help you to do that. So you can see what he's done here. Perfect choice. Clear, confident, and speaks directly to the burnout these leaders feel. I'll create a slide deck titled Stop Launching, Start Scaling, a simple 5-step system. The slides will include cover slide, the about you. I'll write a placeholder unless you'd like to drop your bio. Why this exists, your 5 steps, next call to action, and give me a sec to build it. So now it's all built in here. Now, the one thing we haven't put in is our bio yet. All right, but we'll take care of that in a moment. So for now, I'm going to copy this. You see, we have the copy option here. So I copied all of that information because now it tells me here, your Gamma Ready slide copy is done. Next steps to turn it into a stunning deck, we're going to go to Gamma. And it has the link right here for Gamma. Gamma is a free AI app, and we're going to open it up and use it. Okay, welcome to Gamma. And this is my account, but I'm going to jump back and forth so that because really I want to show you how Leon is going to walk you through this step by step. So step 1, go to Gamma, which we just did. Step 2, click plus create new AI. So we're going to go back and forth. It's going to be slow, for now, but I want to show you how it's walking you through each step. Here's the plus create new AI. Okay, we're going to go back over. It says select paste in text. We go over here, paste in text. It's the first thing right there. Next, it says paste in the slides I just gave you. Now, you notice we already copied those, so we're just going to go back and paste them in right here. Paste. Now I go back over to here. Click generate from outline. Okay, we go back over. Now I'm going to pause before I generate from outline because remember, this is where we're supposed to add our short bio. So I'm just going to put in here, Michael Neely is a 7-figure entrepreneur, business strategist who has been helping solopreneurs achieve success for more than a decade. Okay. And then I will fix my spelling errors. Okay. Great. So now we have that information in here. And obviously you would put in your whole bio, but we're going to go, okay, that's fine. And then the prompt was click generate from outline. So we're going to scroll down here to where it says generate from notes or an outline. Click on that and continue to prompt editor. And you can see it says that here. Scroll to continue. Okay, now we have this information. Now, here's where you can also learn and get better at Gamma, and we have a little kind of a cheat sheet training to go along with this. But we're going to let this stay as it is. We're going to stick with detailed, and we can make more adjustments if we want to before we go. And over here, we can pick our style and our theme. But we're going to switch the theme later. So right now, we're just going to go and click Generate. And you can see that's click Generate from outline, scroll to continue, pick a theme that matches your vibe, click Generate. So we've just done a few stages right there. And it's generating right now. This process that we're doing, I'm moving kind of slow and teaching you guys and walking you through it. But ultimately, when you're doing this on your own, you could create a full lead magnet in 20 minutes. And you could create lead magnet after lead magnet after lead magnet and find the one that really resonates with you, resonates with your audience, and is really going to attract the people that you're most interested in. Okay, so now Gamma is building out our slides. And while it looks like it could be used as a presentation, and it certainly could, we're simply going to take these slides when they're done, and we're going to export it as a PDF. And this becomes your deliverable, tangible, immediately available lead magnet. Remember, easily consumable, immediately available. I think this is going to end up with 8 slides, perhaps. And again, Gamma is free up to 10 slides. If you wanted to do something that had more than 10 slides, you would either have to break it into 2 separate parts or simply pay. It's not very expensive to use Gamma if you did choose to subscribe, and you could do more than 10 slides then. But 10 is usually adequate. And here we go. That was 5. We're working on slide 6. And I'll scroll back up so you can see it even adds photos. It really makes it, a nice, attractive look to it, which is customizable. You can set the theme to your own stuff, create your own theme. This is loosely one of our themes that we've been playing with, has some of our branded colors in it. Okay, and there's slide 7 being built right there. And then slide 8, ready to scale sustainably. This is where you invite them to your next step. Book your strategy call, whatever you wanted to put there, you could pop it in, and now notice this is done. So now you have your completed system. Now I will tell you this, just as a little sidebar on the fun and cool stuff that you can do with Gamma. If your target audience is, as an example, women over 50, I would suggest changing the graphics in here. And you can do it with AI. Like literally, we could say, ask AI, and I'm going to just say, please make the women in the photos represent the demographic of ladies 50 plus. Oh, I guess I don't have that particular agent. First, here we go. Looks like it's doing it over here. I don't know why it opened up that other piece, but notice over here in this column now to the right, it says editing image. Based on the prompt I gave it, please make the women in the photos represent the demographic of ladies 50 plus. And there we go. And so it's already changed. Now it's going to do this for the next one, and it will do it for every image throughout. And this is, again, one of the features that makes it super, I don't know the word I'm looking for, but just really easy to use and super helpful for what you're up to in making your product, your lead magnet, shine. So once this is done, it looks like it's got, it's done 2 of them. It's even given us some options in there. There we go. So it's all done now. So the next step, we're going to go back over to LeOn. LeOn says review and tweak, which we just did a little bit of the tweaking right there, and then share or export to PDF, PNG, or PPT. So we're going to go back over to Gamma. Okay. And we're now going to go up top here. You'll see the share button. So we're going to click on share, and we're going to export this as a PDF. And it's doing that now. So this lead magnet is done. It's now created. Obviously, we could have gone through and fine-tuned any particular element of it, but otherwise it is complete. And so next we're going to get this out in a folder. We're going to go back to LeOn and see what's next. And this is where this is also going to be a little bit more training here, because I want to be sure that you understand some of the other elements of how do you capitalize on the lead generation. One of the questions that came in is like, well, how do we get the leads? Well, this is what's going to make it better. Andrew's got a question. Can we make it vertical? I think you can adjust the slide dynamic inside Gamma to what works in your world. But just work with what's easy. And remember that when someone opens it as a PDF, even if, some may be vertical, some may be landscape, horizontal, any of the other differences, just know that as people go through it, they'll do it at their leisure, and it doesn't have to necessarily be all strictly the same size. I actually kind of like it when it breaks them up. Okay, so we're back here in LeOn. And we're actually going to not worry about the making the cover of it yet, but I will tell you that it is important to have a good cover. And our recommendation here is to use My eCover Maker. Now, I'm just going to do a quick little sidebar because we're not going into design class today, but I will tell you that often what you can do in here, is we can close that out, is you could take this first bit here and turn that into your graphic, your cover graphic. You could actually export these pages as PNGs. So each one is a photo, and then you could use that photo and move it into another software to create it. Like you can move it into Canva and then customize it to make your cover graphic. But we're going to skip the graphic part for now, and we're going to go right into the next phase. We're just going to say, what's after the cover? We're not going to do the cover right now. And LeOn is getting ready to walk us into the next important piece. And I want you to think of now, as we're waiting for LeOn here, in terms of the customer journey. What do I mean by customer journey? In this case, the first thing is, and you could even look back to, how did you end up on my list? That first step, that first thing that you saw from me, that whatever that lead magnet was, that would be your first entry point into your customer journey here. So maybe you got one of my lead magnets, you go, this looks really cool, let me opt in for that. And now you're on my list. So that was your first step into my world. But there were a lot of little steps, micro steps along the way. So as an example, when you saw whatever that was, maybe you saw a link somewhere or you read a little bit about that free gift. Well, when you clicked on it, it took you to what is called our opt-in page. And the opt-in page is really important for you to understand, like, how to really get it to convert. Okay. So he's going back here to doing a page by page layout for the piece. But what really want to do, yes, here he goes. This was just recovering what we just did. Okay. The next call to action, the 5 steps, all of that. And now Leon is saying, want me to build the opt-in page copy next? Or would you like to update the About You section first? Let's go to the opt-in page. So this is what's key on a highly converting opt-in page. There's 2 really important pieces about your opt-in page. You have to keep in mind, number 1, the only way someone ever lands on your opt-in page is if they clicked on a link. And keep in mind, people don't randomly just go around clicking on links. They only click on links that they are interested in. And therefore, if they land on your opt-in page, there's something that already got them interested enough to click on, right? So bottom line is, don't talk them out of it. Okay. Keep it really simple and minimal on this page. So here's an example from Leon coaching us through this. Headline: Stop launching, start scaling. A simple 5-step system to grow beyond 6 figures without burnout. Subheader: For professional female thought leaders ready to scale with strategy, not stress. Download now. Okay, so that's it. Instant access, no fluff, just 5 focused steps to get your time, energy, and revenue back. No navigation. This is what's known as a squeeze page. That's why Leon is saying here, no navigation. That means don't put it on your website where it's got all of your menu bar up top. Too many distractions. Squeeze page means there's only 2 places to go. They either opt in or they get out. They sign up or they leave. And that's what you want on this page. And just the lead magnet and the form is right there. Optional, you could put in a trust badge or a testimonial if you want to boost, but I recommend 2 sentences, the image of your lead magnet and the opt-in form, which should ask for name and email. Now, once someone has filled that out, they are now a yes, saying, I want what you're laying down. I want that free gift. Then you're going to send them to the congratulations page. So we're going to say yes, because Leon's going to build that for us. So yes, please. Now I want you to keep in mind this real estate of the confirmation page or the congratulations page is super, super valuable real estate. This is someone who has just raised their hand and said they're interested. They're excited to learn about what you have to offer. So give them, while you have this real estate that they're now paying attention to, you want to be sure to use it properly. So here's the proper layout for your confirmation page, your congratulations page. A lot of people, by the way, in the industry call this the thank you page, but guess what? They should be thanking you. You just gave them something for free. So it's more like, congratulations, you took a wise action to sign up for this free gift. Okay. So very simple wording could be, you're in. Your 5-step scaling system is on its way. Check your inbox for instant access and don't forget spam or promo tabs. This is super important here. I cannot get across how critical this is. You want them to find that email that you sent. You don't want to have them be able to download it from here. The download will be in the email that they just got. This forces them to look for your email and hopefully whitelist you, which you're also going to recommend for them because you want to get them excited about looking for email from you. So also on this page, you have your next steps section. While you're here, follow me on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, whatever you have. Give them another action to come deeper into your world. Does it make sense for everybody? Just pause for a moment and just do a quick check-in. Let's get a yes, it makes sense in the chat if you guys are following along with all this. Okay, good. I want to make sure I'm just not talking into thin air here. So you want to give them that next action. And you could also offer your next paid piece here if you wanted to on this page. They just opted in. You could follow it up with, hey, want personalized support? Let's talk about whether my 6-month group program is your next move. You could have a discovery call with them. They could book a call with you. By the way, there are many people who like to use a discovery call for a lead magnet. My recommendation is don't lead with that because it won't get as many people into your world. The discovery call should be offered after you've gotten them into your world. Get them in with that quick, easy thing, and then offer the call. All right. And then the final line, which is optional bonus action. Hey, you've taken the first step towards scaling with strategy. I'm cheering you on. That completes your full opt-in flow right there. All right. This is it. And now you can hear Leon is going to ask if you want help with a mock-up image or do you want to move straight into distribution strategies next? So let's talk about distribution strategies here for a minute. I know I spelled that wrong, but Leon's pretty smart. He'll figure it out. So this is where there are kind of two things that are going to happen here. One is this is what would you do with the next phase of the lead magnet? Okay. So here we go. Let's get your lead magnet out in the world where your dream clients can actually find it. Here are the top tier, heart-centered distribution strategies that work beautifully for your audience. Evergreen distribution strategies, infinite leads giveaways. I know we have a lot of members here on the call who are members at Infinite Leads. That is one of the ways to get the exposure. You can join 100 plus giveaway events per year, all curated for conscious entrepreneurs. And even Leon gives the link for that for anybody who'd want to go in. Then more suggestions, pinned social posts, a link in your bio. These are other spots you're going to want to get the exposure for your lead magnet out there. All right. Susan's asking, will there be a recording? There will be. And because she's also asking for the link, that's super important. I'm glad you mentioned that because can I go to get my link? Because we have some special bonuses for anybody who wants to take advantage of this now before, like we love to reward fast action takers. And so we have a special deal going on right now. And I'm just going to put this link into the chat and then explain it real quickly. Leon kind of finished up his bit there about where to go next, but we're going to take you guys somewhere else next. But first, I'm going to pop that link in there. This is for the Leon and ARIA bundle. Now, you haven't met ARIA yet, but you're about to. Okay, so just kind of for those of you, if you're leaving and you want to get in there, because there is a fast action bonus that's listed on that page, but that fast action bonus expires 2 hours after this workshop. So if you want the fast action bonus, you're going to want to jump in quickly. So if you have to leave, please pay attention to that. Otherwise, we're going to dig into ARIA now. But before we do, just real quickly, any questions on Leon? Any questions at all about Leon? What else Leon might be able to do? Some of the underlying training? Any questions? I'm also looking for hands popping up and I don't see any, so that's good. Cool. Then what we're going to do, oh, can I make vertical docs again? Yeah, I do believe you can make them any shape, but that's a setting in Gamma. And so within Gamma, you would just have to change the shape of the slide deck. And so you certainly can. Okay, is there a code for the fast action bonus? No, there's no code necessary, but when you go to the page, it says what the bonuses are after, and it's time stamped. So when you purchase before that time clock runs out, you will get the bonuses just automatically based on when you make the purchase for these. And by the way, just so everybody knows too, in case you're already jumping ahead and looking over there, right now, these are normally going to be offered on a subscription basis. And what we're doing right now to roll these out is we're offering it one payment lifetime access. But that's only temporary. That's also going to be going away. And so right now, the special is you can get Leon and ARIA in combination, either $197 each individually or $297 for both, and that's lifetime access. So any upgrades happen, it automatically rolls out to you. You can use them day in and day out as much as you want. All of that is available to you right now, lifetime access for $297. and you get the special bonuses with it too, which we'll cover a little bit more of that later. But first, since there aren't really any other questions yet on LeOn, I do see the question though from Susan. LeOn and ARIA allow you multiple times. Absolutely. You could create lead magnets all day long, and they will store your results. So we'll show you how that works as well. So first though, we're going to jump over and I'm going to introduce you to ARIA. ARIA stands for Attract, Retain, Influence, and Automate. While LeOn sets the front end of your funnel up, which is your lead magnet, your opt-in page, your thank you page, or confirmation page, or in your delivery page. LeOn is helping you to set all that up, but guess what's missing? All the emails. You've now got all these new leads coming in, and I got to tell you, one of the biggest mistakes I see in the industry, I'm going to stop screen share for a minute so y'all can see me talking. One of the biggest mistakes I see in the industry is people will go out, they'll get a bunch of leads, and then they don't email them. They're not prepared in any way to communicate to them. And sometimes when it's really bad, they may have somebody opt in and they don't email them for a month. Well, guess what happens? A month later, that person's going to go, who are you? I didn't opt in for your list. And they're going to opt out and sometimes even complain, saying, this is spam. I never opted in, because you didn't do the follow-up that's required right out of the gate. So that's why I created ARIA. And again, ARIA stands for Attract, Retain, Influence, and Automate. All right, so we're going to go back over to ARIA and show you how ARIA works. And again, ARIA has a single prompt. Hey, ARIA, can you help me with my emails? That's all ARIA is designed to do. And not just any emails, but very specific emails with a specific target goal in mind. So we're going to pop it in there. ARIA says, absolutely, I've got you covered. Let's start at the beginning. What's the lead magnet you offered that got someone to join your list? Once I know that and who your audience is, I can craft a powerful welcome email that congratulates them, delivers the lead magnet, sets the expectations, and invites them into your world. Just drop the name of your lead magnet below and a little about who it's for. We're going to do better yet. We're going to actually take the lead magnet that LeOn just created, and we're going to hand it over to ARIA. So we're going to say, how about I just give you lead magnet? Okay, and then she's like, perfect. That's exactly what I need to get started. Go ahead and share the name of your lead magnet if it's not obvious. A quick sentence about what else. Once I have that, I'll write your welcome email. So we're just going to drag it over. And that's the PDF we just created through Gamma. Stop launching, start scaling. And we're just going to hit give it to ARIA. And this is how simple it is. ARIA has the lead magnet. So she knows the title. She knows the target audience, all the other steps in here. So here's what I see. Lead magnet title. Stop launching, start scaling a simple 5-step system. Your target audience, established female coaches and thought leaders who hit 6 figures. All of it's in there. She says this is a gold mine for attracting high-level leads who are ready for transformation but tired of the grind. So here's the welcome email. So remember, once you have your lead magnet ready and someone opts in, well, as soon as they do that, you've got to have an email that goes out to them. That's the welcome email. In this case, subject line, you did it. Your 5-step scaling system awaits. And then the subject, the body of the email. Hey, first name, congrats. You're officially on the path to scaling without burnout. Here's your free guide. And notice it has download, stop launching, start scaling. And this is insert link. That's where you would put the link to your delivery page that you created with the help of LeOn. And then she goes on to say, inside, you'll discover the exact 5-step system that helps dozens of coaches scale past 6 figures using assets you already have. No new launches required. What to expect next? This is key. Over the next few days, I'll send you a short series of emails to help you implement each step with clarity and confidence. No fluff, just real strategies you can use right away. Less hustle, more strategy, sustainable growth. And don't worry, I'm not a daily email kind of person. After the first few emails, you'll only hear from me when I've got something valuable to share. Let's scale smart. You earned it. warmly, and that's where you fill in your signature line. And then PS, if you're ready to move fast, you can skip the line and book a free scaling strategy call with me right here. Remember, I said your discovery calls, you want to do those in the aftermath. You've already got people in your world. Now, of course, you could edit this email, but if you like it the way it is, you go, great. So Ari even says, let me know if you'd like this adapted to your voice or CRM platform. What she means by your voice is you can actually start to tell Aria about you, about your style, about your voice, or this is one that I really like, you could add the voice of someone else that you emulate. So let's pop into the chat. Let's just make this a little more fun for me, at least. I don't know about you guys, but pop into the chat. Who is an entrepreneur that you love the way they speak? You love the way they write. You love their stuff. Start popping in a few names. Mel Robbins. There we go. We'll go with the first one that came in. So we're going to tell Aria, can you make the email more in the voice of Mel Robbins? Okay. Boom. We could do that. We could do all of those. We could put in Amy Porterfield. We could put in if Amy Porterfield and Alex Hormozy had a child, what would the voice sound like? So you could do anything you want in there to craft it. And notice it changes the way it speaks, really. And so now it knows a little bit about Mel Robbins. Says, hey, yeah, this is no fluff, straight talk, encouraging but firm, real world tone with a dose of empowerment. So it's changed the timbre, if you will, of the email. And you can do this over and over again until you get exactly what you want. Or, of course, you can write your own. It just gives you some good guidance. But let's consider this is now good. So it says, let me know if you'd like a version for ConvertKit, MailerLite, or wherever you're sending from. Ready to dive into the indoctrination sequence. Whoa, what's that? Pop in the chat. If you've never heard of the indoctrination sequence, just say never in the chat. I want to see who's never heard of indoctrination sequence. There we go. Sue and Marie. Okay, a lot of you. Good, good. Well, good. A lot of you haven't. Well, this is great because I don't want to bore you all with something if you already heard about it. So the indoctrination sequence is super critical. When someone first gets on your list, you need to indoctrinate them. Now, I know indoctrinate can sound like a weird word, especially since, 1984 and stuff like that. But indoctrination in this case simply means you want to get them into the habit of opening your email. You want them to remember who you are, and you want them to look forward to your emails. You're indoctrinating them to your world. And the best way to do that is when they've just joined, they just signed up. So I'll give you an example of my indoctrination sequence. If you opted in for my, where's my mouse go? If you opted in for my podcasting lead magnet, which is called the simple 5-step process to launch a rockin' podcast in 14 days. If you opted in for that, well, I know that you're interested in podcasting, right? Otherwise, why did you grab that free offer? And if you're interested in podcasting, one of the biggest things podcasters want to know is how do they make money from it? I happen to teach 7 ways to monetize a podcast. So once someone opts in, I tell them in my welcome email over the next week, I'm going to send you a daily email each day telling you a different way to monetize your show. And of course, now they're looking forward to that. So we're going to create this indoctrination sequence here. And again, it's daily emails for the first week or so. So let's go to the indoctrination sequence. Okay, awesome. The indoctrination sequence is where we build real connection and trust. Purpose, the 5 to 7 day sequence is your chance to show them that you get them. Deliver quick wins tied to your lead magnet, share your values and approach, build authority and likability, make it normal to hear from you, and set up your offer softly. Okay. What I mean by softly, and this is good for everybody to know, is a soft offer means there's no money involved. A soft offer would be come to my workshop. It's free. Okay. It's not a selling offer. And so that's what makes it a soft offer. There was a question, can I share the recording with a friend? Is there an opt-in? You can share the recording. The recording will be available tomorrow. We're doing this workshop again, I think October 6th, which is a week from today, maybe. So you could also send somebody if they want to come to that. But otherwise, yeah, feel free to share the recording. All right. And so here we go on now with this. To tailor this perfectly, I just need two quick things. What's your main offer right now? Okay. Group program, VIP coaching. Okay. Any personal backstory you'd like to share in this sequence? Okay. So we're going to say 6-month coaching program. Remember, that's the offer that we want to prime them for. And it's a group coaching program. So I want to be sure to put that in there. 6-month group coaching program. And let's see, any personal backstory you'd like to share? No, we're going to just leave it with that because I don't really have a good story to make up off my top of my head like that. But we'll start with just what the offer is going to be: a 6-month group coaching program. Perfect. Let's clarify just a bit more so I can position the program naturally in your sequence. Can you share the name of the program, who it's for, and what specific outcome or transformation it delivers, and any personal why story? Again, she's asking for the why story, but we're just going to do the first one. Let's call the name of the program is 6 months to business nirvana. Okay. Oops. Get my 6 there correctly. Okay. 6 months to business nirvana is the name of the program. The promise is that in those 6 months, each participant will build a portfolio of offers generating over 10,000 per month. Okay, remember we had said something about a 6-figure, wanting them to, hit the 6-figure steady. So we're just going to put this as the promise. And now ARIA has more information to flesh out this whole sequence here. So indoctrination sequence gives us the overview first. Day 1, you're not crazy. You're just stuck at the wrong level. Day 2, the $10,000 a month myth and what actually works. Day 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Gives the outline, and then we can tell her, start it up. If we like the outline, now if you don't like the outline, make some tweaks to it. But otherwise, if we like it, we can say, let's go. Okay, and she's going to draft email number 1. Now, I want to show you some things about this that are really important and interesting. So, starting off, obviously, we got a good subject line. We got the information. You're not the problem. It's because you're stuck at the wrong level. That's why I created the guide you downloaded. Notice we're repositioning the guide again. This is important because sometimes people don't always utilize the thing you sent them. So you want to remind them in your email sequence. Okay, then we go on. You already know how to create results, blah, blah, blah. This week, I'm going to break it all down one step at a time. But for now, I want to hear from you. What part of your business feels the most unsustainable right now? Hit reply. I read every message. This is important for a couple of reasons. I'm going to look at some questions in the chat. But in the meantime, I'm also going to look at the chat. Who knows why it's important? And I'm sure you see these emails from people from time to time where it says, hit reply. Just tell me your thoughts. Why is that important? And in the meantime, does ARIA send the emails as well? Does it act as your CRM? No, it does not, Wendy. You would need to copy and paste these into your CRM. Engagement, yes, engagement is important. There's something even deeper. Connection, important. There's something deeper. Technical, I should say. It's deeper, but it's also deep as in technological. Better deliverability, anti-spam. Yes, Andrew nailed it. What happens is when people respond to your email, the system, your delivery, let's say you're using Gmail, Gmail sees the emails that come into you. And if all they see, if they're getting these emails over and over and it's just delete, 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 they think it's probably junk email. But if an email comes in and you reply to it, well, then they're all of a sudden thinking, oh, well, this is something important. This person actually responded to it. So that's why you will see these in emails from time to time. It helps to improve your deliverability. All right, so this email is done, and let's go to day 2. All right, perfect. Let's keep the momentum going. Here's your day 2. And again, fleshed out some good ideas in here. Grab it again here if you missed it. Again, reiterating the free gift. You want to keep doing that. Tomorrow, and notice this piece. Tomorrow, I'll share how I hit 6 figures and almost walked away from it all. This is known as a tease. You want to, especially in your indoctrination sequence, you want each email to kind of tease out the next one. Because remember, the important purpose of indoctrination is to get them to look forward to your emails. Think of it like a cliffhanger at the end of an episodic show that you like. So you want to actually tease out what's coming next. All right. Then we're going to go to day 3. Okay. Sigger's almost quit. Okay. And this is exactly what we're unpacking this week. If you're, I just jumped a little bit where you don't get the thing. Here we go. I'll be back tomorrow with a hard truth about why doing more is killing your growth. So again, it's to set up some intrigue for the next email. All right. Notice there's been nothing in here. We're not trying to sell anything. There may be the occasional soft offer like, hey, if you want to jump on a call, but there's no selling going on. This is the indoctrination phase. So we're going to go day 4 and on through day 7. We're just going to have, all right, just knock them all out. We don't need to slow down here. Okay, so there's day 4, day 5, day 6, and all you would need to do is copy and paste these and queue them up inside your CRM. But we're not done there. Because here's the other thing, entrepreneurs make a mistake. Well, few entrepreneurs actually do an indoctrination sequence, which I think is a huge mistake. The ones who are in business longer know it. You'll see it. You end up on someone's list. Pay attention. Look at those emails that come through. The other thing that happens though is maybe they do an indoctrination sequence and then they stop emailing altogether. And we go back to that part of like, oh, hey, I haven't emailed my list in a whole month. Well, your list is dying when you do that. So you need to be emailing them more. And I get that it can be tough to think of all these emails to write. And so ARIA is going to help us with the entire nurture sequence. And notice that in the wording here, evergreen nurture sequence. I'm going to do a quick explanation on evergreen so that all of you get this, because this is super important. What does evergreen in this case mean? Evergreen means you don't want to send an email out that says, today my son turned 21 and we celebrated his birthday with a nice steak dinner. Okay, that is not evergreen, because 6 months from now, well, his birthday was a long time ago. It wasn't today. Or 2 years from now, it's like, well, he's 24 now or whatever, it's not evergreen. Evergreen is universal. It's the same today as it is tomorrow, as it is 1 year from now, as it is 5 years, 10 years from now. Why it's important that you make these emails evergreen is because at any given moment, different people are receiving that email. Okay, so as an example, Lori may have joined my list February 1st. And by March 1st, she's now receiving a nurture email. On March 1st, she receives nurture email number 2, let's say. Well, William joins my email list in September. Well, in October, he's now getting email number 2. They're receiving those emails at different points in time. The same email, but at a different point in time based on when they got on my list. Is everybody following this? This is okay, good. This is super critical to get. And that's why these emails need to be evergreen. There's a term in the industry that differentiates evergreen and what would kind of go into what's called a sequence versus what is called a broadcast email. A broadcast email is one and done. So as an example, I might send an email out saying, hey, I'm doing a workshop tomorrow. It's the first time and only time I'm ever going to do it. Jump in today. I won't use that email again. It's one and it's done. Now, if I did the workshop again 6 months later, I might copy and paste it and use it again, but it's designed to be used once on a specific date. Everybody, is that making sense? So that's a broadcast email, okay? These are now what's called evergreen nurture emails. So I'm going to go back to share. And ARIA is designed to help you build your full 52 weeks of nurture emails. She will design and email your whole piece. And this is what's great about it. I'm going to just say, let's do the nurture sequence. I'm going to tell you what is magical about ARIA, especially that it's one of those things that you and I couldn't do if we wanted to, unless we really, really, really built a full strategy around it. And what I mean is this. Because ARIA knows, we've told ARIA, this is our paid program that we want people to ultimately buy. ARIA is going to use our nurture sequence and think about it over time. How do we get someone in their evolutionary process to move closer to wanting to be in our program? And so as opposed to when I sit down to write an email, I'm often thinking, okay, what's current today? What do I need to tell my people about? And so then I'll draft that email and send it out. But I'm not thinking, well, what am I going to tell them tomorrow and next week and the week after to move them towards something? I'm not thinking in that big of a scale like ARIA is. And so this is what's valuable about ARIA doing this, is that she really is thinking long term. And it looks like she's either jammed up or she really is thinking for the whole 52 email. So I may have to, sometimes if this ever happens, by the way, you can prompt the agent again. So let's do the full, maybe I just put in the word full nurture sequence. Now, please. There we go. We got the thinking dot showing now. Love it. This is where you build long-term relationship capital with your list. Now, remember what I just told you. It actually probably was good that she didn't do it too fast while I was explaining it. Here's the structure. Week 1, week 2, week 3. She's thinking long-term, all 52 weeks of where you want to move people towards. You guys grasping the value of this? She's now going to slowly move people in my world to build the know, like, trust, moving them towards that buying decision. So it really is phenomenal, the capacity that ARIA has for this. And so then she goes, would you like me to start drafting week 1 now in your voice? I'm going to say, yes, please. But let's use the voice of Amy Porterfield. Okay, so we're actually going to shift the voice. I know before we had used Mel Robbins. Now we're going to do the voice of Amy Porterfield. By the way, you can train it in your own voice, which I do recommend. And you can just put that in there and tell ARIA to remember it, remember my voice. And every time you do a new series, it will then carry that forward. So here's week 1, voice Amy Porterfield style, friendly, grounded, and focused on clarity and possibility. Boom, you've got your whole first email in the nurture sequence going on. And notice that we have book a free strategy call, a soft offer there. No pressure, just possibilities. Now you're in the nurture sequence. It's fine to put in more of these soft offers. Every now and then you want to gauge your audience. And if they're getting good value from you, well, we got to remind them, hey, I'm available. Book a call with me. So we can tell it to go week by week, or as you can see here, or generate all 52 as a bundle. Let's do all 52. And now ARIA will crank out our full year. Now, first she's going to do this as a week by week to give you the feel of it. and then you would have her flesh it out. So we got some questions here in the chat. Is the evergreen nurture sequence following directly yes, it does. So typically your indoctrination sequence is 5 to 7 days. At that last day, then you want to wait 1 week, and then you would start the first of your nurture emails because it is a weekly sequence. And if they buy during that time, adjustments to the emails are made. They certainly can be. That's a good question, Peggy. Where it wouldn't be adjusted potentially by the way that you might be thinking. So let me frame this a little differently. Let's say I'm doing a sequence of emails that are all designed to sell a program, okay? And I'm going to email you for a month trying to sell a ticket to my event. Let's use as an example. I'll stop share so y'all can see me talking with my hands here. So let's say I'm going to try to sell tickets to my event, and I'm promoting it for 2 months. Well, I have a whole series of emails lined up to sell that. And if I'm mailing to Corinne and Corinne buys, well, I pull her out of that sequence. And there's an automation process that says, hey, that's the target goal. If someone purchases, stop trying to sell it to them. Now, it doesn't always work. Sometimes they end up in there, or they might have a different email or got back into that sequence somehow. But that is the way you would do it, is you would pull them from that sequence. Now, the reason I said this is a little bit different, Peggy, is that your nurture campaign is not that kind of sequence. When you would stop a nurture campaign is this. Remember, your nurture sequence is designed to go out weekly, but different emails to whoever is on your list at a different point in time. Okay, so everybody could be getting, let's say you had 52 people on your list and each one joined a week apart. Well, every week they're each getting a different email. All 52 of them. If they each joined exactly 1 week apart, they're each going to get a different email. But what you would do is now, let's say during that year, you go, oh, I need to promote my big event. You pause the nurture sequence. You just put that on hold, which is easy to do in automations. You say, pause this sequence. And while it's paused, you would now email the broadcast emails that you're promoting something. Once you're done with those, you unpause the nurture sequence and it picks right back up where it left off. Okay, so that is your nurture sequence. And ARIA drafts all of those. And then there's one final sequence. We're going to go back to ARIA, and then I'll jump back over to Q&A. Because we're in the last bit of ARIA here. There's one other sequence that most of you probably haven't heard of either, and that's known as your re-engagement sequence. What is that? The better CRMs that are out there, and for those of you who don't know what CRM is, that stands for a customer relationship management software. CRM is your software. And the better platforms, better CRMs, will actually track whether people are opening and engaging with your email, okay? And you can put it into, my re-engagement campaign is designed like this. Everyone who signs up for my list, they get put into this bucket. And in that bucket, it's checking to see, did you interact with my email, okay? So let's say as an example, Anne-Marie is on my list and she starts getting email, number 1, number 2, number 3. 90 days go by and Anne-Marie has not opened a single email. What's going on, Anne-Marie? She hasn't opened a single email, and my system knows that, so it wants to re-engage her, okay? It's like, what's going on? She's not doing anything. So to re-engage her, it will start a sequence of emails known as the re-engagement campaign, and those are a series of 5 to 7 emails that get progressively more assertive. So I'm just going to tell Ari here, let's do the re-engagement campaign. So you can see it in real action. So the first email that will go out, in this case to Anne-Marie as our example, it might say something along the lines of, hey, what's going on? I notice you haven't been opening my emails. Notice it even tells you here, 5 to 7 emails over 7 to 10 days with escalating tone. Warm and friendly check-in, value-packed reintroduction, direct, are you still interested? All the way through. So it's asking, do we want to review the full sequence, or let's jump right in? So we're going to just tell it, jump right in. So the first email in the re-engagement sequence is going to be something along the lines of, still here, Anne-Marie? Hey, Anne-Marie, it's been a while since we've connected, and I just wanted to check in. You signed up to receive tips on growing your business without burnout, and I want to make sure my emails are still serving you. Because the truth is, your time and inbox space are valuable. And I only want to be here if the content is truly helping, blah, blah, blah. It goes on and on. And there's a link here. Just click here to stay on the list. Now, we give the people in these emails a link, but here's the deal. If Anne-Marie hasn't opened my emails for the last 90 days, well, she's probably not going to open this one either. So that's why the next day, immediately following, we go to email number 2. And email number 2 gets a little bit more assertive in the tone. Here's what I should have sent you sooner. Since it's been a while, let me hit refresh. Okay, it gives more details, and then again, the invite. Yes, I still want this kind of content, and a link for the person to engage. So we're going to keep going. Next one starts to get a little bit more. Quick question, are we still a fit? Now you're starting to ask them, like, do we need to keep hanging out together? You know, what's going on here? So we're going to say, finish all of them. Yep. Okay, and so it will continue this until the final in the re-engagement email sequence, and I'll just wait till it gets to it and show you that. But the bottom line is each one gets more harsh. Final notice, last call, confirmation optional. The last one actually says you've been unsubscribed. Here's what that means. Now, at this point, maybe Anne-Marie goes, oh, wow, they unsubscribed me. Well, maybe I don't want to be unsubscribed. So maybe she'll finally open this email and she can jump back in. Or maybe she opened this one where it says last chance to stay connected. So the bottom line is this is re-engagement. And now remember, I said there's this 90-day bucket. Well, if Anne-Marie clicks on any of those links and any of those emails, it starts the 90-day counter over again. And everyone in that bucket, every time they engage, it starts it over again. So let's say she's been in there for 89 days and she finally opens an email. Well, it starts count at day 1 again. Everybody follow this? Just get a quick yes in the chat if this makes sense to you for the re-engagement campaign. It is super important to be running those, keeps your list hygiene well. And by the way, great, everybody's getting it. And where this is super valuable is if someone's not responding to your emails and they haven't opened anything for 90 days or engaged and they ignore your entire sequence, unsubscribe them. Get them off your list. You're wasting your space. All right. And it makes your deliverability drop because you're sending a bunch of emails out that are getting ignored, makes you look more like a spammer. And so you don't want that. You want to get rid of people who aren't interested in opening your email. Okay. So we are going to look through some questions here. Is it ever in your useful? Yes. And if they buy you, yep. Okay. How long does it take to know your voice? It doesn't take it very long, but well, let me reframe that. If you have stuff already out in the world on the internet and different things, it can search that and find your voice pretty well. Like if I told it to do Michael Neely's voice, it would do that because I've got enough stuff out in the world that it would just go and find that. Okay. Otherwise, you would have to then feed it a little more of information like your tones. And that's also why I think it's, if you're not well established yet, find someone that you feel like, yeah, that's kind of the way I would speak, and then have it, you know, mimic that. All right. William, fire away.
Michael, welcome back. You know, we're both global travelers, and you spent your
Yes.
summer in Europe. I spent our summer in Europe. So does ARIA give you an opportunity to say, look, I'm traveling. I'm not going to pay attention to any emails. And she says, okay, great. Let us know when you come back and you can opt in or something like that. Is there sort of a space for grace?
Well, Aria is, I just want to confirm how you're thinking of Aria. Aria is not a CRM.
Yeah, I understand that, but I'm just saying when it said you give an option to click in, it starts the 90 days over again. Would you have that option to click and then pause for 90 days so you don't get anything from ARIA?
That has nothing to do with ARIA. That's what
Okay,
I'm
this is
saying.
CRM
Yeah,
function.
that's your
Okay.
CRM.
All
Yeah.
right, all right. I'm clear now. Okay. So
Okay. Yeah.
so you've got the content in ARIA, and that's all she does in the CRM. So you just pair the two together and figure it out.
Exactly. You would copy and paste the emails into your CRM and then adjust those in a sequence and set it all up so that it flows that way.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right. Catch up with you later. Thank you
Yeah,
much.
you got it. Okay, let's see. Is ARIA always set up with a dark background? No, that's the way it is in my system because I use a dark background. Um, How long does it take? I assume there is data that supports sending these emails every day versus every couple of days. And do we keep them out of our main email list funnel until the end of the sequence? You should not have to keep anyone out of your normal sequence, your normal email. Well, let me reframe this. So there are odd cases. So look at it like this. You're all on my list. Obviously, you showed up here, and unless someone gave you a link and you showed up, but now you're on my list because you opted in for this thing. So you all get my emails. Now, if for any reason, and this is kind of a weird one, and sometimes I'm even have to retweak it. So let's give a real world example. Someone opts in, they join my list, they get put through an indoctrination sequence. I've told my CRM, if someone's already been indoctrinated, don't do it again. And I think I'm turning that back off. And the reason is because I have people will opt in for the same thing over and over again. And if I have that turned off, I will have someone say, "Oh, I just opted in for this thing, but I'm not getting it." Well, I'm like, "Well, dang." And then I go back in the system. I'm like, "Well, the reason you're not is because you got it 6 months ago and you're trying to get it again. And my system says you already got it." So you may want to keep it on. Let them go through it again and again if that is the case. Um, that one, I'm not married to one way or the other, but you do want to make sure that people are in a normal sequence of receiving emails, unless you're me. Okay, now the reason I say that, you all know how it is. You get a lot of emails from me. That's because I've always got some kind of a broadcast going on almost permanently. So I don't even really use my nurture sequence because we've always got a new giveaway coming out, or we've always got a new event coming up or a new workshop. So I'm constantly emailing about other stuff. So I live more in the world of broadcast, but most people don't. So just keep that in mind that, you want to have your system work the way you work. Now, you asked the question, is there data supporting sending these emails every day versus every couple of days? The general rule of thumb, and by the way, I got my email certification mastery through Digital Marketer. Don't know if you all remember Digital Marketer, Digital HQ. I took all of their training courses to get certified in this, and this is a company, for those of you who don't know them, this is a company that will send 1 billion emails a month, not million, billion. Okay. Well, they have lots and lots of companies with big lists. And so they're tracking and monitoring statistics in a big, big scale, which is really what you need to get good data. And so amongst that data is the support that you should email every day during indoctrination. After that, a minimum of once a week, a lot of times twice. They'll even tell you there are certain times of day that are better to email than others, which I will tell you all. It used to be when I first got in this business, it seemed like everybody was sending the email out at 6 a.m. But they stopped doing that because what they started to find out was because everybody was doing it, there would be what was called the morning purge, where you open your email and delete, 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 just purge through all the junk. And so people stopped doing that. So I don't do that early email. The best times of day are after 9:30, probably between 9:30 and 11:45. And keep in mind, though, your time zone may be different than your other people. So certain CRMs allow you to program it to send it out in their time zone, which is handy. So hopefully that answered that question. How is ARIA different from Chat GPT? You create the same prompts in that, yes, to do an indoctrination. Absolutely. So ARIA is built in Chat GPT. ARIA is an agent, as is LeOn. The difference is this. If you just go into chat and you tell it to do something, it's not been trained the way I've trained ARIA. I had to spend dozens of hours teaching ARIA all of the stuff that you need to know about writing the proper emails for the proper sequences in the proper way to make it work. You could certainly just take any chat prompt and say, hey, write me an email, and it'll do it, but it won't have all of that background training that ARIA does. But I just purchased because of the deeper level he is training. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Lori, you wrote that comment in there about the training of them. Yeah, and that's the same thing with LeOn. LeOn has been highly trained in what I've been teaching around lead magnets for years. And essentially, when you get ARIA and LeOn, it's like having me in your back pocket, because I've trained them the same way that I would be holding your hand and going, here's what you need to do. Make it do this, make it do that. You get that built in with ARIA and LeOn. Sue, why is there a double registration form on the registration page? I'm not sure which registration page you're referring to. I signed up with the top form and it worked.
It's for the sign up, Michael. It's got one next to LeOn and one next to ARIA. They both seem to work.
Well, there's on the page that I gave you in the link, you could buy LeOn or ARIA separately, or you could buy the bundle. So it's actually should be 3 options, because some of you may go,
On the
oh, I only
checkout
want.
page, on the checkout page for the bundle, it has 2.
Oh, let me take a look.
I filled out the top one and it worked fine, but there are 2.
That is a good question. Okay, I'm going to go on the page and take a peek. In the meantime, if y'all have other questions, you can always raise your hand as well. I'm happy to answer. All right, come on. Okay, William, I see your hand up.
Yeah, just to follow up, I put my question in the chat, but since you're trying to multitask, is there an ARIA-friendly CRM that you like, and sort of what are your top 3? If you had to do it all over again, what would be your like top 3 CRM, or your first one? Like, just go do this one that matches well with ARIA and anything else.
A
User-friendly.
CRM?
Yeah, user-friendly.
Yeah. My favorite CRM is Entreport.
Archiport.
Which that checkout page that you guys are looking at, that's built in Entreport. And all of the emails that y'all get on my list, those are from Entreport. I see what you're saying. It does appear in there twice, and I don't know why.
Can you post it again so I can click on the link, because I'm ready to buy them both?
Okay, yeah. Let me put that there. That is the bundle page. Yeah, they look identical. I think for some reason it's just replicated itself. Probably either one would work, but yeah, it's just identically replicated itself for some reason.
All right, so click on either one. I can put it in my credit card, and I'm off to the races. I can get them both.
Yeah, yeah. And if you
Okay.
just do it in the top of the form, what she's saying is there are 2 order forms. Both are identical. Both get ARIA and LeOn. It's just the same thing. It repeated itself. So just do the top one.
All
And
right.
again, as I mentioned,
Thank
it's
you.
$297. You're welcome. And it's $297 right now, lifetime access. Now, I mentioned that you're going to get some bonuses as well. So let me grab that, and probably the link I could have put in for y'all. Should have put in this one. Oh, that is the one. Okay, so you guys, it took you to, yeah, it did. Okay, so on the page where you could get one or the other or both, but it also shows the bonuses. So let me go back to screen share for that, because I want y'all to fully get what these bonuses are. Now, these bonuses, as you can see here, they're going away in 3.5 hours. These are fast action bonuses. Okay, you're going to get 3 monthly group coaching calls to fine tune your lead magnet. All right, so these will be calls that you can jump in, one, all 3 of them, whatever you want to do. And you'll be able to say, hey, here's a lead magnet I created. What do you think? What needs to be tweaked? Here's the opt-in page. Here's the welcome email, whatever aspect of that, that will happen during that call. You get, if you're already a member, because we have several people in here who are already members of Infinite Leads, you get 12 bonus tokens for members, new or existing. So the reason it says new or existing, if you're looking at joining Infinite Leads and you join after you've built your lead magnet and you're all ready to go, we'll give you 12 bonus tokens as well. Now, if you don't already belong, you will go, well, what the heck are tokens? 4 tokens allows you to participate in a giveaway. So with 12 tokens, essentially, when you join, you will get to play in 3 additional giveaways. A giveaway is your opportunity to get that lead magnet out in front of hundreds of thousands of people so that people start raising their hand and opting in. So it's all about the lead generation. And then the final piece on the bonuses, you get a personal lead magnet review when submitted for the coaching call. Now, you don't have to be there necessarily. Like, let's say we got a coaching call coming up and you want me to review your lead magnet. Obviously, it's great if you're there and we'll review it with you so you can give feedback. Otherwise, you submit it, we'll review it during the call, and then you could even see it in the playback on the recording. But literally, it would be going through and checking every element of, here's what we got, here's where you can improve on it. So these are the fast action bonuses right now. Those go away in 3.5 hours. You'll still be able to get this stuff later, but you won't get the bonuses. All right. So, and they're, like I mentioned before as well, we do plan to switch this to a subscription model. And in which case at that point, it will be, monthly for the usage of it. But right now you get lifetime. You could use them all day long, create as much as you want. As a matter of fact, let me go back over here and just show you what will happen is, how you have your menu bar off to the side here. Every new lead magnet you create will be stored over there in your little sidebar, and you can name it based on those. Same with ARIA, every email interaction in sequence you create. And by the way, with ARIA, the other thing that's really cool, she could create other email sequences as well. She's really good at writing emails. That's what she's designed for. And so you could even, after you've trained her, you could go, hey, I've got this workshop I'm going to sell. Could you write me a 6 email sequence to sell it, to get people to book? She'll do that for you as well. So you got all of it built in here in ARIA too. All right. Let's see if we have any other hands coming up. I don't see any. Let me check back in the chat. High Level is a great CRM. Yep, it is a good one. The link isn't taking me to the bundle. Are you talking about the bundle to make the purchase? If so, I can put that direct link in the chat for you, Wendy. Okay. The difference in the links that are in the chat, this one that says safe checkout on it, that takes you right to the checkout page. So that's a little different. The other one will take you to the page I was just showing. This one takes you to the checkout page. Wendy, fire away. You're muted still.
Sorry.
There we go.
That was my question was, that link wasn't taking me to the bundle. So I'm clicking on the new link now and I'll let you know if that's taking me there.
Cool.
All right.
Yeah. The first link should have taken you to the page that I was just showing. And then if you chose the bundle to purchase, then the link on that page would have taken you to the checkout page, which is that second link I put in there.
Yeah. And I'll save the chat just to be on the safe side.
Cool. All right.
Okay.
Okay. Awesome. William is in. Well done. Okay, let's see if we have any other questions in here. How big a list should you have to justify purchasing the bundle, and where the link for the checkout page? That was, again, a Wendy question. You don't have to have any list to make it worth this. As a matter of fact, this is designed to help people who haven't really gotten started yet. Because the first thing you need to build a list is something to offer, and lead magnets are the best way to do that. And by the way, good places for lead magnets are if you're speaking at an event, like I was just speaking at Connect and Convert yesterday and offered my lead magnet there and got, the room had like 80 people and I got 50 new opt-ins from that. So that's a great place for you to have your lead magnet ready. And by the way, this is another super valuable aspect of LeOn. If you know you're speaking at an event and you know the topic of that event and the type of people who are going to be there and what they're interested in, you could craft your lead magnet that will be more geared towards that audience's particular issues. Now, I want to just add a little caveat here. You don't want to get a bunch of people who aren't right for you. You don't want to make up a lead magnet that's going to attract somebody that not who you want to work with, but you got to find that overlap. And so as an example, if it was a health and wellness event, well, I'm not going to go in there with my lead magnet, okay? Because they're interested in health and well-being potentially. So very different. Then I have to look at, well, what do I do in the world of health and wellness? And therefore, what kind of a lead magnet could I craft for them that would get them into my world that would interest them in my offer? Everybody, is that making sense for y'all? So make a lead magnet and make as many as you need, multiples, and you can do fine tweaking for individual events like that. All right, other questions coming up at all? Let's see what we have in the chat. We got some new stuff in there. Do you have the dates for the 3 group coaching calls? I do not yet. And I can tell you this, though, that they're going to begin in December. And so we'll do that December, January, and February. And probably what we'll do, because I also understand that, some of you may want all 3 and maybe you miss one, we'll probably run them for 6 months and you could take advantage of any 3 that fit for you, because we'll probably want to continue to run them for a while. All right. What a great deal. Plus the bonuses. Yes. Thank you, Sue. I appreciate that. First one a couple weeks ago and love the call. Okay, good. Thank you. Any chance to participate in the group coach calls? Absolutely. Happy to do that. And I'm going to butcher your name. Is it Reiki? I hope I said it right. Got it? Okay, cool. With the one-time life choice or trial period, if it is more than I can handle, is there any refund option? There is no refund option on this, Nancy. And when you ask, like, is it more than I can handle? Let me be clear that this is not a program. It's not a training. This is a tool. It's like if you buy a hammer, maybe you're not going to build anything today, but you will have that hammer 6 months from now when you're ready to build something. This is just a tool, and you will own it forever. Once you have it, there's no real way for me to take it back, because once you've gotten access, it's like it's now on your computer. So there is no refund on it. And use it at your leisure. You'll own it forever. Wendy, your hand is up again. I don't know if that's a remnant or.
Nope, sorry.
Okay.
That's
All right,
a
no
remnant.
worries. I'll take it down.
Thanks.
Okay, Sylvia.
Hi.
Howdy.
I put my question in the chat, but you hadn't seen it, so I'll ask it. I don't mind asking.
Okay, good.
I am one of those who has done events in the past and didn't know how to follow up with my list. So I have people who, got the free whatever I gave and they enjoyed it, but I haven't talked to them since. Would ARIA revive my old email list? I'm buying her right now.
Yes, I would say yes. And I love your question so much that we're going to just play with it. All right. So we're going to go back over here to ARIA. And we're going to say, ARIA, my list has gotten old and I need to re-engage them with some fresh value. Can you help me craft a 7-email sequence to them excited and remind them okay. Now, the way I've crafted this prompt here is to let Aria know, yeah, because this happens, by the way. You're not alone in this, Sylvia. A lot of people have done that. I've talked to so many people that go, yeah, I got a list of, 10,000, but I haven't emailed them in a year. I'm like, okay. So that list, while it may not be dead, it may be on life support. Okay. And so how do we revive them? And so we're going to ask Aria to do this. So Aria, my list has gotten cold and I need to re-engage them with some fresh value. Can you help me craft a 7-email sequence to get them excited and remind them of who I am? This is important to have the reminders. because initially, if you haven't emailed them in a long time, they may look at that email and go, I can't remember you. I don't think I ever signed up for this. And they may opt out right away. Okay, so absolutely, this is one of the best moves you can make before Q4. A fresh 7-day re-engagement and reintroduction sequence will warm up cold subscribers, reestablish your voice and authority, deliver high-value insights fast, rebuild interest in your core offer. And then she lays out the strategy, gives you the 7 subject lines, and you're ready to rock and roll. So let's begin. And remember, ARIA is built for email. It's like having your own copywriter in your back pocket. And she's been trained additionally with email marketing tactics that I've learned and mastered over the years. So you've got that extra boost with her as well. And this is nice. I mean, I actually like that subject line. Let's hit refresh. Okay, so it starts right out with just a warm little thing of like, yeah, you know, we were together. You might remember me, kind of a deal. Let's be real. It's probably been a minute since you've seen my name in your inbox. So first things first, this is so vital in re-engaging them because you want to set their mind at ease where they're erase that thought of them going, I never subscribed to this. This erases that. They go, oh, it's just someone who I did a long time ago, right? So that's the value you get right there. And boom, she'll work you through all of those as well. All right. Long answer to your question, but I also wanted to play with that a little bit.
And I really appreciate that.
Yeah,
Thank you.
No worries.
And I'm on the checkout page. I'll just add this question. I'm on the checkout page, but it's saying to me, get ARIA now, but I'm purchasing the bundle. Is it just okay? Well,
don't purchase just yet.
That's what the button says, but it still does the bundle.
Oh, right. Yeah. It's sorry. That's a button error, a remnant from when we sold them separately. So thank you for bringing that to my attention. That's something that needs to be fixed. Yeah, you bet. All right. Let's see if we have any other questions in there. Cool background title. Session. Okay. Any other questions? I don't see anything that I did not get around to answering in the chat, but there's always a chance that I missed something. So I'm happy to answer it live. Anybody who wants to raise your hand? Otherwise, while I'm waiting to see a hand go up, I will say that between these two, we call them the dynamic duo. It's your 1-2 punch. It's like when you have, this is what would be considered the front end of your business. So when you have a business that you're going to be selling something, you need a front end. What do you do to get people in the door, into your lobby, into your stuff before they work their way into your bank account, hopefully by ultimately becoming clients of yours? And you've got to nurture this. And this is a great way to do it with a great lead magnet, more than one. I've got myself probably about 6 or 7. So you're going to want to have a lot of lead magnets. You want to test them out. You want to rotate them over time because they can get stale after a while. And it's like time to create something a little new. So you're going to want to keep all of these things in mind. Andrew, fire away.
All right. This has been fantastic. And it was great seeing you at the 3-day JV directory event. Okay, my question is, like tomorrow, I'm mailing out on behalf of someone who's doing a very big event, one of their affiliates. Is there some tip there? I guess I can feed in what they provide and have it be not the same as everyone else. I heard, did you say there's something about if a whole bunch of people send out the same promo text, it's not as good?
That is correct. Yes. And actually it can reduce deliverability too. When like the CRMs start to see a whole bunch of same subject lines coming from different people, they start to go, oh, this is a little spammy. So my recommendation, and for those of you who may not be super familiar with what Andrew's talking about, because it's like a level up a little bit in the joint venture world, affiliate marketing, it's where you're promoting someone else's stuff. And I'm sure you guys being on my list have seen me promoting other people's stuff. Like right now, I've been promoting John Schumacher, my dear friend John, who's big in the webinar space. And so what Andrew's talking about is, you get what's called swipe copy provided to you from these people who are doing a launch. Well, a lot of times, because people are lazy, which is why swipe copy was created, is like, just send this, because most people are going, I'd love to support you, but I'm too lazy to write an email for you. So they provide you the swipe copy. My recommendation is take that swipe copy, take the subject lines, run them through ARIA, and have a rewrite done in your voice. And it will give you a better subject line, better chance of getting that open. It'll be more in your voice, better chance of getting action on it, which is what you want as a JV partner because you want to make sales. And so RA can help you with all of that. Great question, Andrew.
Thank you. Thank you.
You bet. All right. Other questions coming up for anybody? Do you have an affiliate opportunity with this program? I'd absolutely love to promote this. We don't at the moment, Lori, but we're working on it, trying to figure out what that would look like. And the part of why we're not quite there is because we're not exactly sure the date we're going to move it over to subscription basis. And so I'm not even sure how many more, we'll do even at this one lifetime deal. But when we move it to subscription, we'll definitely have a partnership affiliate set up for that. Can I share the link again? Absolutely. Okay, so this first link I'm going to share is to the page that has the offers. You could buy LeOn separately, ARIA separately, or get them bundled and save more money at $297 and just have both, and that is lifetime. And you get the other bonuses, which on the timer there, they're going away in 3 hours and 13 minutes. So sign up within then, you're going to get those 3 other fast action bonuses. You can still buy it later, but the bonuses go away. And the bonuses are, I think, going to be critical for you. If you're going to do it, I would get in quick and get action on those because this is your business. This is your front door. This is where people come into your world. And you want to have that looking good. You don't want to have it look like, you're down some dirty, dingy back alley business that they're afraid to walk down that street. You want it to be a gorgeous front facade of your business that they're going to walk in and go, wow, this is really cool here. This is that front end. This is what helps you to build that. A great lead magnet, great email sequence, great opt-in and landing pages. All of this is what's going to put your customers on a great start to that journey. And the customer journey, of course, is from they first meet you, get to know you better, and ultimately end up becoming a paid client with you. All right. So any other final questions? Otherwise, we will wrap this up a little bit early today. Yes, I see a hand going up over there from Sue.
Do you have a page on the fast action bonuses?
They're on that link that I just put in the chat.
I missed that. Okay, let me look.
Yeah, and they're right down below what the bonuses are. It's right below the bundle packages. And then it says bonuses go away in 3 hours, 11 minutes. And then right below that are the 3 bonuses listed.
Great, thank you.
You're very
Michael,
welcome.
I think Valerie had a question for you too.
Yes, fire away, Valerie.
She's hidden, so she may not be able to ask out loud.
Gotcha. Was it in the chat?
Yeah, she put it twice. I answered her first one, but I think she wants your answer.
Oh, here we go. Will this be able to access in my chat GPT or will this be in a separate chat? Oh, great question. It will show up in your own GPT. So whenever you fire up chat, it'll be right there. And what you will do, well, your first access won't be. Let me be a little clear. Your first access, you'll be taken to my internal page, which only people who purchase will get access to. And that's when you'll get the link to click on it, to open it. And when you do that, it will open it in chat for you, and then it will be there for you.
Okay, awesome.
Okay, hopefully that makes sense. Any other questions? Looks like we have some more stuff popping in the chat here. Those were just thanks. Yes, you're very welcome, all of you. It's a pleasure. I love doing these trainings. And I got to say, and I'll just throw in this little bit as we wind it down for the last top of the hour. I teach a lot about lead magnets and list building. List building is the lifeblood of your business, quite honestly. And while even when I learned this early on, Jeff Walker was one of my first mentors and still is. And Jeff has always said the 2 critical pieces of any business, rule number 1, only sell stuff the market really wants. Rule number 2, always be building your list. Now, when I first learned this from him, I thought, yeah, that makes sense. But that was kind of where it ended. Like, okay, yeah, makes sense. But I never fully got it until my list hit about 10,000. When that happened, it's like the clouds parted and the sun shone through and the angels were singing, and it was like, oh, because what happens is you start to realize that it's kind of like that expression, you've arrived. I started seeing that I was getting more revenue from affiliate partners. I was finding I was getting invited to speak on more stages. I was getting invited to be a guest expert at more summits. All of those things were because I was now growing my audience and my power as an entrepreneur, because other entrepreneurs with bigger lists now want to play with you when your list starts to get bigger. When you're just starting out, everybody's like, well, get a little experience first, then come back, right? And if I were to have to do it all over again, I would put so much more attention on growing a list fast and furiously and continuously. Always be building your list. And that's why I've put so much effort into learning it, mastering it, and now teaching it, because it is critical to your business success. And I want to see everybody have great, amazing success with it. So, Sylvia.
I had started to write in the chat what I want to say right now, but I prefer saying it. That for me, it feels like the clouds have just parted and I am getting fresh ozone to breathe into my list, because I really do great at events or on podcast, webinars and so on. But I get done with it and I'm like, what do I do now? I don't follow up. And so I'm always conscious that I've left clients hanging somewhere and I don't know how to follow up with them. Sometimes I'm even afraid to participate in the thing I'm invited to participate in, because I'm like, oh my gosh, I can see people signing up for the thing that I have given them, but what do I do now? So thank you so much for creating this.
Thank you are very welcome. And you're not alone. Like I said earlier, it's like so many people, that is the situation. And that's why I wanted to really help with this, because it does make a huge difference. And here's another piece I can add, which is also, it was a good learning for me. It was tough. I remember when my list was about 300 and I sent out an email and I got like 10 unsubscribes. And I was like, ah, what happened? What did I say wrong? How did I offend you? I was like, and I really I spiraled for a little bit. And I had to let go of that. And it's been a great learning for me to let go of it, because I can tell you this. And again, it's easier for someone to say than it is to kind of feel it and take it in. But if you can take this in and get it, this will be critical for you. Don't care about unsubscribes. Let them go. Forget about it. As a matter of fact, I challenge you to force some unsubscribes. Okay. I challenge you to email your list a little more, market to them a little harder, because if you're not, and this is the thing, at the beginning, when you've got a small list, I remember I didn't want to lose any of them. I wanted all of them. I was like, come on, I want to grow it. I don't want to be losing. And so it was important to let it go, though, because I didn't start a business to have a bunch of pen pals. I'm in business to, help people, and I'm not going to be able to help everybody. And if they unsubscribe, great, so be it. And if I chase you away, great. You probably would have never been my client anyway. So let go of worrying about unsubscribes and you'll be a whole lot better, everybody. Oh, you're muted, Sylvia, but I can see your saying.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm really glad that I came to the session today.
Oh, me too. Thank you for coming.
Because even last night I was thinking about this in my bed, because I just completed a seminar, a webinar series.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking at all the people who have, and I said to my VA, who I just recently hired, and I said to her, I will craft the email that I want you to send, because I like it said in my voice. And I do have a chat GPT that's in my voice right now.
Mm-hmm.
But I have to work with it to get the the automation, the content to her. And
Mhm.
I'm like, oh gosh, I don't have time for it today. But if I have this, it would be easy. I could just whip it out very, very
That's right.
fast, or
Piece
have
of-
her work with it. So this has solved so many problems for me right now.
Oh, I'm so excited to hear that. I can't wait to hear how it pans out for you too. And by the way, any of you
Absolutely.
who just purchased this, I see we had a lot of purchasers come through. Let us know how it's working for you as well. And if you have a great testimonial, please share it. We'll be happy to feature you on our pages and stuff. So we're excited to continue to roll this out and keep making it better too, by the way. So I'm constantly revamping it. And anytime you log in, you're going to get the latest and greatest version. So cool. All right. Well, if there are no more questions, then we will wrap it up. We're coming up to just about the 2-hour mark. And I do believe for those of you who are still maybe on the fence, you've still got about 3 hours to decide if you want the fast action bonuses. Hopefully you'll all jump in. It's so worth it. Going to change your life in a great way. And we're here to support you and help you through it. So we appreciate y'all for joining us today. And I look forward to seeing y'all on the other side. Ciao, everybody.